Hey, and welcome back to the next episode of the Right Hand Drive Guys podcast, the podcast for guys who like right hand drives. I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
Yo.
And welcome back to another episode 127.
There it is.
Yeah, episode 127, and we're like, hey, we haven't done a hot or not. We didn't do a winter hot or not. It's now officially spring. Let's rip out a quick hot or not. And then we're like, dude, they've had some awesome demo cars come out of Japan.
Yeah.
Like some iconic cars that helped fuel the passion for this culture.
Right.
And so why not just go back and forth and talk about our favorite demo cars from over the years? Why not? That sounds like a good episode to me.
Heck yeah.
But first, I don't know. Do. I don't know.
That's Sports Center, dog.
Oh, shoot.
Wait a minute.
Breaking news. So if you listened to our last episode, then you would know that we chatted about the tariffs that are potentially coming from Trump. And so we record this on Wednesdays generally. Today is Wednesday, March 26th. And as of 2 hours and about 25 minutes ago, Trump officially put a 25% tariff starting April 1st. And this is no joke.
Whoa.
A 25% tariff on any car not manufactured in the United States coming in. So
that's insane.
And it doesn't matter if your 34 GTT's rowing itself right over here. It don't even matter. If it lands April 1st or after, it will be assessed a 25% tariff.
Holy moly. Is that also on like new vehicles?
That's on every vehicle.
Every vehicle, period.
Everything.
Like new ones that are going to be at the Nissan dealer up the street.
Yeah, and
they're
so
going to get hit with that too.
If they were manufactured in Nissan in Japan, which all of those were. And so that was what we spoke about. Nissan Motor Carrier had stopped taking used, was going to be stopped taking used roll-on, roll-off cars to push all of their inventory over. I don't know if that's still going to be necessarily such a thing because they were trying to beat the tariffs.
Yeah.
And Trump just put the hammer down and said April 1st. So, the guy that has, dude, imagine if you're bringing a Z-Tune over.
Yeah, or anything
of
like
super high value.
Price. I mean,
25%, dude. If it's $1 million car,
so dude, I mean,
$250,000, dude.
Does that start like literally today?
No, April 1st.
April 1st.
Yeah.
So like if your car's on the boat in the ocean, and it's set to land on the 2nd.
Yeah, you're
already
paying
left.
It. You're paying it. If it lands on the 31st of March, you're good.
Dude, that throws a wrench into things for people, I'm sure.
Yeah,
because they're expecting to pay.
Yeah.
X
and
amount.
Now it's gonna sit
like for
somewhere.
anyone. That's like dude. Are the ports going to be just full of these cars?
Or how does that work?
Or,
I don't know. We need somebody from a port authority to let us know, because you start paying storage pretty quick.
Oh,
so
true.
you got to pay storage while you're trying to figure out how to pay tariffs. It is going to create a very rough situation for some people. And I mean, like we talked about last week, I'm still 8 months out.
Yeah.
But that's putting pressure on me. It's going to add $35,000 to my car plus the more expensive shipping like we talked about.
Right.
So, let's just say if a container's $8,000, that's $43,000. Call it 45 with the other fees.
Man.
That's $45,000. That is a third of what I paid for the car. That I have to pay when it so yeah, I can imagine the guys that don't have 8 months to prepare for it. It's a little stressful, right? I mean, it's stressful for me. So I know for them, they're freaking out. So if you're listening to this and you are one of the guys, whether you have a $10,000 Mitsubishi or $1 million Nissan, whatever it is,
dude,
for sure,
holy moly.
You'll get through it. It just isn't going to be comfortable. That's for sure. So, that's the Sports Center breaking news here for you. So, Yeah, all right. Let's get into the Hot or Not, the spring edition. And you can go first. You
All
hit
right.
me, hit me.
Do I hit you with all 5, or are we going to do
No, one to
and
one.
another? All right, dude. First one up I got for you is the Jays Racing GK5 Honda Fit with the Atasha on the side.
Wow, that's a real picture you took.
No,
Oh,
but I think I do
thought that
have one
was
on my
from
phone
the
from
trip when we
Yeah.
went there.
Yeah, I think they had this out front or
I mean, come on. Like, obviously that's hot. Why
with
are
the
you giving
Atasha,
me, like,
dude.
easy ones? Like, come on.
I had
Like,
to warm you up.
I mean, first of all, it's a Fit, and it's Jay's Racing,
Yeah,
and it has everything you would want.
right.
I
mean,
yeah, I
yeah,
can't imagine.
Jays Racing, they like kill it with their visual like
Yeah, for sure.
appearance stuff. It's cool.
Whoever Jay is, he did a great job. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's dope. I mean, pretty much, you know, if you had showed me the Spoon Fit, that's dope. Like most of the fits that were like race cars were sweet, or
Yeah.
that style car, you know.
Right.
Okay, so here's what I got for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Airbag suspension. Bagged whips. What are are the bagged whips hot? Are they not? Like,
For me, it's a not, but they have their place.
sorry. So non-VIP cars, airbag suspension on non-show cars,
And non like air cups, right? Like full
no,
bags.
full bags. Yeah,
Full bags.
full bags on non-show cars.
It's just not for me. That's not for me. No.
I figured that would not be hot.
I mean, I've just always been a coilover guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Those are
you know.
performance. Like those are.
And plus, dude, have you seen the bad cars when they're like lifted and they're driving down
Yeah.
and their alignment's all wacky and it just looks
Like
crazy. It's just
yeah.
like that doesn't look cool.
Like a big
drive
chick
it
with
slammed.
skinny legs.
Right, or something, dude. It's like
Whoops.
it's unproportionate.
All right. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, no, it's all good. So the next one's for me is the Mad Mike Wadet's 787D. The tube chassis car that they built that has some, I want to say 5-rotor, but I could be off on that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Like, did you like? Yeah, that's hot, dude. Anything Mad Mike puts out is pretty much nasty.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like some of the stuff he puts out, like I feel like only he can do it.
Yeah, and I don't know if people pay him to build cars. Like, if not, they should, because his style is just like it's sweet. Like he has a whole different style. They'll roll the car out of the trailer. Once they start it up, it's like a whole nother level of mind blown, because you're like, dude, okay, why does this guy got a McLaren with a 5-rotor in it or whatever, the crazy things that he does, but it works and the cars perform and they just like
they
roll
look sick,
smoke
dude.
and
the fitment and the wheels are always like just on everything he builds. He has super deep wheel, like it's perfect. Like,
yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what
obviously.
he's doing.
I
But
mean,
some people hate on it. I don't know. I was just trying to figure out if you were going to hate on it. You know?
No. I'm not. I'm not hating on that. I mean, the dude's living his dream, building his style car.
Right.
Like, yeah, I mean, is that thing going to be my choice? Probably not. But, like, is it hot? Absolutely. Like, dude, just play a sound clip of that thing over and over.
Yeah,
and
just
you
listen
tell
to it
me
idle.
it's not. Yeah, tell me. So, all right, I got one for you.
All right, let's hear it.
The brand. 𝐇𝐀𝐒 USA. Come on, dude. Is 𝐇𝐀𝐒 USA hot or not?
Not
dude?
hot. Dude, I am so confused by the whole '𝐇𝐀𝐒 USA thing. Like,
yeah, me too.
They get a lot of people.
Yeah, they do.
Really,
they
like,
get some people that you're like, no. Like Busher.
Yeah.
Busher pushes like the Evo guys.
Yeah.
They push this heavily.
Right.
Their cams and stuff. And I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like,
It's crazy.
This is not real.
I'm surprised there hasn't been some sort of, I mean, maybe there has, it just didn't get out, but like some sort of press release or like some sort of thing where 𝐇𝐀𝐒 Japan is like separating themselves from Tomei US.
I feel like I've like seen an article or two, but it's not widely known.
Right.
So like, and dude, before I knew, I bought the Tomei USA, not knowing because they're using the same model names and everything. So I buy the Titanium Extreme or whatever,
Right.
and I have no clue. And then we go to Up Garage, and he's like, "Yeah, no, dude, those are fake." And I'm like, "Nah, dude, I didn't buy a fake one." I come back here immediately.
Tomei
look.
denial.
Yeah, I was in Tomei denial, dude. And then I come back here and look. Sure enough, dude, it's got that stupid TJ logo.
Yeah.
Literally a Tomei Japan TJ logo on it, but it's Tomei
He took it off
USA.
immediately. He took it off. And he did right.
I did. I took it off immediately and put an HKS right back on there. Like, no. Like, I know the HKS is real. So, yeah, I agree. Tomei USA is lame. Like, that's, as they say, Chinesium.
Yeah, yeah. And I heard, like, their cams break.
Yeah, I saw a big thing about that.
Yeah, but I guess there's a lot of other speculation behind that. But regardless, Tomei US, garbage. Tomei Japan, good to go.
That's where it's at. You got to support, like, no matter how you look at it, if you say Tomei USA has good parts, okay, let's just pretend for 2 seconds Tomei USA has good parts, right? They're not junk Chinese parts, okay? Let's just pretend that. Okay, who was established first? Tomei Japan, 100%. Why are you supporting someone that is willing to rip off a brand who contributed to the culture from the beginning? Why are you willing to support that? You need to ask yourself that. If you actually give a shit about the culture that we're in, why would you give money to somebody who is actively ripping off one of the companies that helped create this?
Right.
That's
I'm just hoping they don't know. Because
I'm hoping, or is it that 30% less price tag?
Right.
I don't know. What do you got?
All right. Hear me out on this. Wing deletes on GTRs, any GTR, 32 to 35.
Like
GTR specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen 34s, 35s. Maybe I've seen a 32. But I really haven't seen. You don't see 33s with a wing delete.
Yeah, you're right, because it's like made into the
built into
quarter
the deck.
panel, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think it's hot though. Like I've always been like a wingless guy. Like in the past, you know, my STIs no wings, Evos no wings.
Yeah.
You know, like I generally, because it gave it that like more not sleeper but like low key look. You know, especially on the Evos, I love it like that. So, I saw the other day a 34 GTR that was wingless, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's still sick. You know, it's not how it's supposed to be, and sometimes that's what stands out the most.
And it still has the wider fenders too, and like
it still looks like a beast. And then
it almost makes it look wider for some reason or something.
Yeah, and that 35 that I got, the 35 for 35 that I got, was wingless because it had a carbon trunk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's dope too, because that wing is, the 35 wing is like super low, small. Yeah. So like removing that is it's not as exaggerated as like removing a 34 wing that's on stands, you know what I mean? So, but still, I think it's all hot. I think anything like that generally
Damn, I thought I was going to get you on that one.
No, sorry, dude.
Man.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm excited for this one.
Brake master cylinder stoppers.
Hot, just because they're like, I don't know. They do function. But when they? Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think they're hot, especially like some of the higher end strut tower bars would have them built in, like the 𝐇𝐒𝐄𝐄 would have one.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just that extra little thing hanging off, and like, I don't know, it's cool. Like, it's cool, right?
Send this guy a DM if he's way off track on this one. No, I feel you. Somebody else was saying that they were actually functional. I don't remember. I heard it recently. That's what made me think of this was, like, to me, it's like that should be your last modification.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, some dudes, it's like their first one. And they're like, yeah, look at my master cylinder stopper, dude. And I'm like, where? Like, you know, what do you mean?
But yeah, they do, because I mean that pressure that you put on your brake pedal goes somewhere, and like with that big assembly, like there is room for movement, especially if you got big sticky tires and heavy brakes, and like you can really put your foot into it without locking the brakes up. Like it's gonna move that master cylinder. There's gonna be some flex, so it just gives you a little bit better feel, a little less spongy, I guess.
You got one on your car?
Potential. I don't.
Oh.
But hey, they're cool. Yeah. Every time I look for strut tower bars, though, I look for the Nismo.
Yeah, that's cool.
With the stopper.
Yeah, that's cool because it's a part of a bigger piece.
Yeah.
Which all together creates an effect. Like, but yeah, okay, go ahead. I don't want to beat the brakes off this.
All right. Cool. Let me find the pic real quick. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So this one, I mean, you got to look at it, though, and you got to look at the layers.
Okay.
But Sebastian from Koru Works just repainted his S14. Is that hot or not? It's got layers in there.
I mean, like, okay, so for me personally, like, that's not hot, right?
Yeah.
For like me personally, I'm not doing that, right? So I'm gonna say not for me, but like for him,
yeah,
that's hot. If you get what I'm saying,
right.
like
he can pull that off.
I think that's like sick for him, and like what he does, that's gonna look awesome.
Yeah.
But like for me, like, dude, what are you doing? What happened? Was that like a deal? Was that like a deal? But I think like for him and his style, that's like that's
he can do
sick.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You could probably do it, but I couldn't do it.
He just dropped that this last weekend at Riverside or something.
Yeah, Chattanooga.
Yeah. And it's like, there's also, back in the day, there was a Sylvia, an S13, that had this same paint job. So it's kind of like paying homage to that.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's pretty cool. And then, yeah, they're like, it's one of those things, if you saw it in person, you'd be like, holy shit, there's like a lot more going on in this paint than just, three colors slapped on and some flame job. But yeah, it's just one of those things, I think, that, yeah, super fucking cool.
Yeah, no, I can tell that's your thing, dude. Super hot. Okay. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Roof scoops on street cars.
Only if it's an Eclipse. Yeah, I'm going to say... I'm going to say not, because most of the time they're not functional.
Right. I mean, for sure. Like a roof scoop on an NSX or some rear engine car, like that makes sense. Or even one that has a vent to the inside.
The Imprezas.
Yeah, those are different. That's a real vent.
Right.
Like as opposed to like a scoop with a hole under it.
Scoop. Oh,
yeah,
I see.
I'm saying like a scoop, and this picture's from 2003. I mean, that's pre-paint, I'm sure. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's pre-paint.
Yeah, dog, that's that's a Fast and Furious spec. That's not. I don't know why. It just...
Yeah, it's...
Well, they look out of place.
Yeah,
like,
and it isn't functional, right? Like, that's the biggest thing, is that it doesn't actually...
Right.
Like, you're blowing air onto the top of your roof. It's probably vibrating.
Yeah, you mean to tell me Brian Earl Spillner's driving through Arizona in his Eclipse with this freaking roof vent? Like,
we should, next time, like, if you watch the movie, you should watch it and see if you see the roof. I've never thought of that, you know, but, like... Does it? Like, no, obviously not. It's just a fiberglass thing strapped onto the top. But, like, that's the only use that you could have for that thing is to vent into the car.
Right.
Because for some reason your AC blew out when the manifold blew out. And, like,
you
know,
all
for
that.
sure, yeah.
But, yeah, dude, any vents that don't work, not hot, including roof vents.
Including roof vents. Gotcha.
Cool. All right, last one. There's a few iterations of this, but the Castrol liveries, like the
Supra,
the whites on the Supra and the Celica, as well as the black and green red on the Accord, and I believe there's an NSX as well.
Yeah, I mean those are hot. Like that's like '90s livery, like iconic cars that won championships and. Yeah, I mean, like that. Those are forever burned into the brains of anybody that was like into it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, black or white. I mean, I think it's just like any of these. Any of these '90s vehicles, like they were all awesome.
Yeah,
for the most part.
And the colors
especially
were super cool.
Yeah, especially the race cars, right? I mean, the drift cars were sweet, but like the race cars, like. Were like this level of like, I don't know what to call it, not professionalism, but like this status, those race cars. And so, 9 out of 10 of those are sweet for sure. So super hot.
I know I tried to find a bad one. I couldn't.
It's hard.
It's tough.
All right. Last one. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Canards. Canards.
Not. I mean, you got to have everything to go with it.
I'm glad you didn't say hot because then I was going to try to sell you a pair I have over on my cabinet.
I mean, on the right cars, they look right. Just like any of this stuff. Like if it's executed correctly and you have everything to go along with it, cool. But if you're just like throwing some self-tappers into your stock bumper and like...
Wow, okay.
Just...
I feel attacked. How'd you know I did that on my Cavalier back in the day, dude? Come on. I didn't even paint the front urethane bumper, and I threw the canards on there with the self-tappers, dude.
Yeah, because it was a test fit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. I'm not a canard guy either.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a bunch of aero and like a bunch of crazy stuff going on and, aggressive...
If you have a time attack car, pretty much.
Like pretty much. And you got to have the big front split.
Yeah.
Dude, most people don't, though. So most time I see those, 99% of the time, not.
Yeah, agreed. All right, start. So, okay, that was hot or not. Obviously we're in, we started off real hot, and then we kind of got some knots at the end here.
Yeah.
Okay, so demo cars. What's a demo car?
It's pretty much a car that some of these tuners, companies, car parts companies, shops, they put together for, a certain purpose, whether it be a certain driver, a car to showcase their new parts, a car to take to auto salon or any of the other big shows.
So a demo car can be used... Like a demo car could be used in like a race, but it's not like a race car. Right. Like a demo car isn't an all-out race car.
Right. I guess you could say that, yeah. I mean, it's one of those...
more of a show piece, but they can take it to the track and like run it in, let's just say, a race, for that style car.
Right.
But for the most part, they're like showing off their parts.
It's a showpiece, right?
Okay, cool. So what we'll do is we'll list off the car. We'll give a few specs. We're not going to go ham. We'll give a few specs and what it is that you like about it.
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead.
All right. First up, I got the R33 Speedwagon. You've seen this, right?
Speedwagon. I don't know. Show me.
It's got the it's an R33 GTR, hence the name.
And it's got a weird like rear end on it, right?
Yeah, it's a wagon, right? So I thought I had a pic saved, but I didn't.
It's okay. You don't have to show me.
No, I'm going to show you. And the thing about these demo cars, like a lot of them left Japan. Like a lot of them are everywhere else in the world but Japan. It's kind of
sad.
Kind of sad, but Well, I can't find a pic.
Yeah, that's okay.
But anyway,
I'll
put one up for sure.
Specs?
So it was built by Option Magazine actually,
Huh.
in 1996, and it was unveiled at the Nagoya Performance Car Show. And Daijiro from Option, the founder, was pretty much behind the build, and yeah, I mean they just did the whole deal to it, and they put this like rear shell on it, and it's all custom, and it's one of one, obviously, and yeah, they had it for a while, took it to a bunch of the shows, and it had a couple different liveries and a couple different looks to it, but at the end, it's one of the ones that ended up getting shipped back to the States, or shipped to the States and sold, and it's owned by someone in New Jersey, and it's currently being refinished, and this guy I follow on Instagram, his name's Superlife Studios. He has like a body shop, and it's basically this dude, and like, dude, he does like killer restoration, like that type of work, and he's doing a full he's doing a restoration on this car, and the amount of work that he's putting into getting the rear windows and the rear glass and like getting all the sills perfect, and like, I mean, it's probably going to be better than it was originally.
That's
like
cool.
100%. So that is pretty cool to see, you know. I mean, I'm not trying to hate, but I'm sure if it stayed in Japan, like it's just one of those things. It's like, it's that car, right? And eventually it would just be set off in the corner and
oh yeah, for
left
sure,
to right,
because it's
so
nothing special, but it's old news to them,
right.
You know, and they've done so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
at least it got into the right hands in that sense to where it can be saved, because there was some pretty bad, like I want to say there was a lot of rust in it. This guy has documented a lot of the work on his Instagram, so it's pretty cool to check out. But yeah, that's my first one.
Word. So most of us have heard of this one. Probably most of us have heard of most of mine, because I'm just like a hype boy, and you know, pick the ones, you know, that I'm like, that's just what I remember. But so the Mines 34 demo car is my first one.
Yeah. Of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, of course it is. Like, why wouldn't it be? It's got a 2.8 liter, 650 horsepower motor.
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, because they're balanced. Like, because Mines likes things balanced. And so to me, this is like the iconic 34 demo car. They you know, it was on the videos, it was in the magazines, it was at Auto Salon.
Right.
You know, it was the one, like, and probably the one that Americans were most exposed to.
Right.
When it comes to this style car. And so yeah, I mean, they did a whole barrage of their stuff, but you know, as we've spoke about before, Mines always does do a balanced car, and so that's why it's not 1,000 horsepower. That's why it is 650, so that you can actually run it correctly. But yeah, the Mines demo car, that is absolutely an iconic car in the JDM culture.
Yeah.
When it comes to Skylines.
Yeah, it's one of those that are definitely, it's timeless. Like,
yeah, it's still sick today.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything
at all.
It's all good.
Yeah, for sure. Which would be cool to be able to build a car in the year 2000, and 25 years later, it's like still sick.
Heck
like,
yeah.
That's awesome. Go ahead.
Cool. My next one, I got another R33. I know I went a little crazy with them.
Yeah, that's fine. R33s are cool.
And this is a car built by Doluk. And
okay,
there it is. There it is, right there with the crazy doors,
the Vader
right?
Body kit or whatever.
Yeah, that one too, right? Like
those doors, the gull wing.
And like, dude, it's so wide. Look at that thing. Like it's fat.
Wow, that's like an LM on the rear.
Seriously,
that's what it looks like to me.
So I couldn't find too much more information about this one, which kind of sucks. Like I tried, and all it was pulling up was like the current Doluk R33 stuff, and just I couldn't find much on it. But it's definitely one I saw, you know, in the magazines and everything back in the day. And it's just like, these are the cars that, I don't know, they went over the top for. and they did like everything custom, and that was just like, that was super cool to see. Yeah, it's a little gaudy in a few spots and little crazy.
Of course.
But
yeah, the rear end looks way better than the front end.
yeah, that's for sure.
Personal.
Yeah, that front bumper, like, only a mother could love that, right?
Yeah.
but yeah, it's cool. Like, I think it's super cool and it's unique, and yeah, I think that's what kind of they were going for back in the day. They wanted that crazy out.
Yeah, they wanted to stand out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, because it's just like anything that's like at the beginning in the infancy, like it's a race to stand out.
Yeah.
And so that one definitely stands out.
For sure.
Damn. Okay, so my second one is the top secret GT300 Supra.
Nice.
Yes.
This one was almost on my list, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and so this one they actually removed the 2JZ. They threw in this 3S GTE. They they got 700 horsepower out of it with the lighter motor period.
Yeah.
Revs out to 10K. The thing was obviously a beast. It was Smokey's personal car for a while.
Yeah.
And actually, dude in Connecticut owns it now. Shout out JDM Supreme. He actually owns this car, but this is also another iconic, like these cars, all these, but it's like an iconic car because this car helped create who we know as Smokey Nagata.
Yeah, for sure.
His top speed runs are what made him like really stand out.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones that he used. And he got pulled over doing 200 miles an hour in the United Kingdom in this.
Oh, it was that one.
He's never allowed to drive in the UK again in his life.
That's my dog.
That's wild, right? That in this car, and a dude in Connecticut has it.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of these demo cars came over.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
Like, wow. It's
pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I want to know what Smokey Nagata's like. I want to know what his deal is with the 2JZ. He's constantly pulling that out. He put an RB26 in a Supra. He put a V12 in a Supra. He put a 4-cylinder in a Supra.
Yeah.
Where's the two? Does he have 2Js in a Supra?
I don't know, but I mean,
never thought about that until just now.
It's another one of those things that makes him unique. You know, instead of just running that 2J, he's throwing in this 3S GTE.
Right, which was inspired from the JGTC back in the day.
Yeah. All right, what do you got next?
Next up, I got the Weld Technical Factory S14. This thing's pretty crazy.
What the hell?
Yeah, right?
The windshield opens?
Yeah, and like, look how far the firewall is back into how far the firewall is back into the bay.
Yeah,
and like
wow.
The engine is pushed all the way back.
That's pretty cool.
Everything is behind the radiator support, like almost to the strut towers.
Makes sense though, that power to weight and the balance.
Yeah, so this car, let's see, it was brought actually into the US like most in 2005, and it was a demo car for Autobox. And it kind of sucks, man. This car got passed around and was eventually posted for sale in 2011. I remember seeing this post on the forums because of the crazy how the hood came up and how the windshield came out, and it was like full on like JDM race car, like, and I'm like, what? How is this in California? This is crazy. $20,000 is all they were asking.
Damn.
$20,000.
Crazy how some of these things like got away, so to speak.
Yeah, and what sucks about it, like, it showed back up at SEMA in 2014, which is cool, I guess. Except they had repainted it and they put a Viper. They took out the SR and put a Viper V10 in it.
Ugh.
And like, they probably changed a lot of other things too.
Dang, bros. Why, man? Come on.
I don't know. But I mean, it was seen again in 2021, but it still had its 2014 spec. So
that stinks.
Very unfortunate, what I consider an end to a very cool car, but yeah, that was just another one of those crazy cars that they went over the top with and built all these custom parts and pieces to make this hood that flings up and this windshield that opens and the engine. So like all that just to get the perfect 50-50 weight balance. Like, and then they put a Viper.
That's what happens. You get those Americans
dude,
behind the wheel, dude, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, my turn on a 33. The 𝐇𝐀𝐄𝐄 demo car.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so this is like, in my opinion, one of the best 33 demo cars.
Yes.
It can do 0 to 300K in 17 seconds. The car is just like runs 5.87 at Scuba. Like,
decent.
you know, like this car is known for its like record-breaking performance, and you know, it's got the 2.8 stroker with the 750 horsepower.
Yeah.
So, you know, comparing it to the Mines car, it's got a little bit more horsepower.
Yeah.
You know, but the same 2.8 RB. You know, like the back then especially, they were keeping, unless you were Smokey, they were keeping these RBs in the cars, and they were stroking them out and making them be like the best they can be.
Yeah.
But I love it because I love the graphics on it and stuff. It's like that old school. It's not the splash. It's like the old school look of those like super clean but kind of minimal graphics. You know what I mean? And so, I love that HKS 33 for sure. And I didn't know they also had a HKS had an RX-7 that matched it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty beastly.
Yeah, that car is also in America.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Dustin has it, right? Or he built the replica?
No, he built a replica,
yeah. All right, go ahead.
Cool. Next up for me is the Trial Tuning NSXR. Oh, whoa. Did I scare you there?
My next one is similar.
Okay, cool. I mean, yeah, this car is pretty sick. I'm not like a huge NSX guy, but just something about this car is, I don't know. It's the perfect NSX, dude. It actually ran a 59.6 at Scuba, which at the time was like the fastest time set by a street car.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. It's got a 3.5 Toyota C30 in it.
Wow, it's got the Toyota.
And I'm not sure, but I mean, that might, I read some info that it has the first one, like the tag on it says 1. I don't know if that means they only made one or if like,
that's cool.
You know, they just got the first one, but pretty sick car. And just, the same thing with the graphics and just,
it's
I don't
legit.
know. It's just so clean, kind of subtle, but also like if you look, it's like, okay, dude, this thing's nuts. Super cool car.
Yeah, and Trial does a good job. Like when we went there, you could tell.
Yeah.
They were like into it. Shout out Joey Lee for the photo of the NSX.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so speaking of Trial, the Trial Supra was next on my list.
Nice.
And you know, I just love the you know, where that was more simple, this is a little bit more aggressive, I guess you could say, with the vinyl, you know, a little more, you know, which I liked, you know, with the gold wheels, with the white and the red. It just really pops.
The white and the red, there's something about the white and the red is just
it looks good. And it looks like the white is being ripped out of the red. It's pretty cool. And so you know, not that I love to just bring you know, a bunch of Supras on here, right? You know,
what?
But this thing is dope. And it has a 3S GTE, just like Smokey's, tuned for 600. It's got a V-mount intercooler, scissor doors on this thing, you know. So they tricked it out a little bit, you know, and this thing last sold for $45,000. The Trial Supra with and it's got Blitz turbo and racing hearts on it, and
dude,
big Brembos, and so it's just crazy because somebody's sitting on this now.
Yeah,
they bought it for 45. This is a $100K car.
Man, that's insane.
So
seeing the prices like that back in the day, and just
man,
that sucks.
Yeah, it does suck
for us now.
Shout out Trial on the NSX and the Supra though.
Yeah, also Trial had a Celica that kind of matched that. It almost made the list, but I was like, it's a Celica. I don't know.
What's your last one?
Last one for me is the Signal Auto Chop Top Civic drag car.
What?
You never saw this?
I don't know. Refresh me. Oh, is this a no picture thing too?
No, I got this one.
Yeah, no, I do remember that.
It came to America.
It looked like so funky.
Dude, it doesn't look like I don't know. Sometimes when you chop the tops on these cars, the wheels look like they grow, or the wheel well looks like way too big or something.
Really?
Just the dimensions of I don't know. It just looks funky. But anyway, this thing's cool. It was built by Signal Auto in Japan, and it's definitely inspired by the hot rod styling of chopping tops. It raced in the U.S. and it actually achieved a 9-second quarter mile, 9.98 seconds.
Damn,
so just under 10, dude.
Wow, with the Civic, the chop top Civic, it must have been that Aero.
Yeah, must have been, and the weight reduction, I guess. I don't know, but definitely the Aero, right? But yeah, I just think it's super cool. It's one of those things. It's kind of unnecessary, but why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's unique.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. Is there that much gain for it? For the amount of work that you have to put into achieve?
No, it's the looks.
It's definitely the look, right?
Yeah.
And in its later version, it had an NSX engine. So it had a V6.
Oh, interesting.
In the front, which is pretty wild. I don't know. Signal was on some crazy stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
I almost put some Signal cars in mine, but I was like, no, this dude's probably going to be all up in there.
Didn't expect the chop top Civic,
Is that why they went bankrupt? Or they blew all their money on the chop top Civic?
Yeah, probably.
So, hey, just a quick... just a real quick one. That Trial Supra, I just found... literally on January 30th of this year is when it sold for $45K.
What?
Yeah, it's not the car you remember. It's
someone
not
already
the car.
got
someone totally ruined it.
Well,
I mean, the motor's
the
cool.
Engine's still there.
The 3S GTE is there, but somebody just
been farting in those seats.
Dude, they're destroyed, and you know how Trial takes care of their seats.
Oh yeah,
these are all destroyed. There's wires hanging out everywhere. It's not the same car besides the motor. So I see why it sold for so cheap, because it's a huge project at this point.
Someone used and abused that one.
Yeah, it's not even that iconic car. Okay, cool.
Stack posted that up, huh?
Yeah. So, okay, my last one, right? An NSX.
Ooh.
The best NSX there is.
There it is.
No offense to anyone else, but... the Spoon Sports NSX is my favorite NSX of all time. I personally believe it's iconic with that raised rear wing, the roof scoop. Dude, it's just such an amazing car. Then you throw that livery in there, and the way that it sounds, it's a ITB, NSX motor to the C32B. And, with a 10-to-3 compression ratio, so super high up there. It's revving out to 910K. It's got a Spoon LSD with the 6-speed, so this thing's also, hooking up and, dude. And then it's got prototype Spoon suspension, which is quoted to be some of the best suspension that these Honda guys have ever felt.
Wow.
It's pretty, but they have never released it. It's their stuff.
I bet.
And then it's got, a prototype straight pipe exhaust pretty much. And yeah, I mean, this car just to me has always been iconic in the sense of NSXs, and I believe it deserved to be up here, on this list as well.
Oh, it definitely does. I mean, dude, anything by Spoon.
Yeah, they do an awesome job.
Dude.
super quality. When Spoon gets a hold of it, you're getting that thing back, like quality for sure. All right, so these were some demo cars that we fancy.
Yeah.
I know that there are a ton more out there, such sick companies that created such awesome inventions, and they put them out there for us to be able to love, but these are ours, right?
Yeah. If you have some, post them in the group.
Yeah, post them in the group. It's RHD guys JDM boys, and you can find it right on Facebook. It's public. You just join it. We'll shout you out for joining. Post up your whip. We love to see them. We interact. It's a great time. And then, of course, you can just hit us up in the DMs at RHDGUIS. But for episode 127, I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
See ya.
Peace.